or eggs in it. I don't really know why the eggs were always pink, but they were pink eggs in a jar. You go in there, you say, I want this egg right. I know, it's disgusting. I know. And then next to that jar was a pig feet jar. And only the old men who come in and play lottery numbers go and get the pig feet. And they had cigarettes behind their ears and pockets full of change and a fistful of peanuts. Y'all know these old men? So this is the way I grew up, right? This is Washington, D.C. in the 1980s. But this is Washington, D.C. in the 1980s, which means there were other things going on. Matter of fact, every major city in America during the 1980s, if you were living in a black or brown community in this country, there's a good chance your neighborhood was torn apart by drugs during this time. This is what all your rap songs are about. We were there. It was a complicated time in this country, right? Every time I went to school and came home, I had to figure out which way I was going to go. If I went to the right, I had to walk through the hustlers. And if I went to the left, I had to walk through the junkies. And when I got to my house, I had to deal with the fact that the hustlers and the junkies lived with me. My mother and father, my brother and sister, my cousins, my uncles, my aunties. This is a time when everybody was either dealing it or doing it. So imagine what it's like if you're that kid growing up with the ice cream truck and the peanut butter and the ramen noodles and the Kool-Aid and the drugs and all that other stuff, and you get to school every day and your teacher look at you and say, we want you to read a book about this man, he on a boat and he chasing a whale. And you like, what? Nah, I'm good, right? That was me. Nah, I'm good on that one. Well, why don't you want to read it? And I used to always say, Miss, what I look like reading a book about a man on a boat chasing a whale when I ain't never seen no boat? I ain't never seen no whale. Do the man on this boat eat ramen noodles? And she like, nah. I'm like, well, then I ain't reading it. Oh, we want you to read this book. It's called Lord of the Flies. Have y'all read that? Some of y'all was supposed to read it probably. And y'all know about Hunger Games? Well, then any of y'all who ain't read it, you read it. It's the same thing, right? Hunger Games and Lord of the Flies, right? So I used to say, yo, I'm not reading this book. Well, why not? I say, because I grew up on that island. I know survival of the fittest. I know what it means to fight for mine every single day. And I know this person is going to get it wrong. And say, oh, we want you to read To Kill a Mockingbird. Have y'all read that? Yes. All right, if you haven't read it, don't worry. It's coming, all right? To Kill a Mockingbird. And I'm like, I ain't reading that either. And they're like, why not? I'm like, because don't nobody like Atticus Finch really be around here. I ain't never seen nobody like him. We could have used a few Atticus Finches. And how come don't nobody in none of these stories talk like me or walk like me? Why their families not like my families? Why their neighborhoods don't look like my neighborhoods? How come don't nobody drink Kool-Aid? How come y'all never talk about their sneakers in none of these books, right? The things that mattered to me as a child, right? How come you want me to accept something that don't accept me? So I make a decision. No reading. Didn't read any books until I was almost 18 years old. Got all the way through school. Now I'm not proud of it. I'm actually, honestly, a little embarrassed about it. And the truth is that I paid for it. I suffered for it, trust me, big time. But I couldn't get with it when I was younger because I felt like books weren't being written for kids like me. Books weren't being written for kids like me. So the question is, how is it possible that a kid who read no books grows up to write books for y'all? And the answer actually is pretty simple. The answer is rap music. Does everybody know what rap music is? Yo, sometimes I be in schools, and I'm like, rap music, they're like, and I'm like, I gotta go, you know. Rap music was a game changer. Now let me give y'all a little bit of history, right? Now here's the thing. When I was growing up, rap music was still pretty new. They said that rap music was only going to be around for 5 years. It was supposed to be a trend, a fad. They didn't even call it music. They said it was noise. You couldn't win any awards for it. You definitely couldn't make no money, first of all. Y'all growing up in a very different time. You couldn't win any awards for it. The Grammys didn't recognize it. That wasn't a thing. BET was still playing the news. MTV was playing rock and roll and Michael Jackson. Then we got Yo MTV Raps, but you still had to have cable TV to see it. Radio stations, each radio station had one radio show. And the internet did not exist. YouTube was not a thing. And every single day after school, we'd come home and turn on the TV, and there'd be old people in steamrollers and the tractor-trailer trucks rolling over our rap tapes saying rap music is going to be the death of a generation. That's what they used to say, that rap music was going to be the death of a generation. The same way that we talk about social